Man, I need to. Hey, man, shot, you ain't doing me no good. I got a couple over here. I need some killers on. I need some snipers, man. So, hey, anyway, man, we live once again. It's Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. ish on a Sunday. So, I mean, once again, it's time for another edition live in the Man Cave. This is Polk. We are your number one source for high school basketball in the state of Florida. Appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with us. Got the All-State PG and the All-State coach tapping in tonight. What's going on with you fellas?
Happy Sunday, coach. PG.
Yes, sir.
Happy Sunday, man. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, man. We had a lot that transpired over the last week, and we are here to talk about it, man. But before we start talking about, the regional semis and the finals, man, I saw something this week, probably last week. Wanted to get y'all take on it. The Darren Peterson situation at Kansas, where he essentially subbing, and I don't know all the gist of it because I just couldn't really follow it because I'm like, it's such a bad look for basketball in my opinion. It's just me talking. Him subbing himself out of the game. Like, he got this NIL money from the people, so he got the $3 million, and he's subbing himself out. I guess, and somewhere in his clause, he can do that. So, how bad is it? And I even saw like I saw a graphic where a Kentucky kid, I don't know if you heard or not, but he played like a couple games, and he done made like $20,000 a minute essentially this year. So this NIL stuff, man, is Darren Peterson aberration, or is he about to become the rule? Like, is this what these jitterbugs about to be on, man? I looked at it, I'm just like, there's so much wrong with that, in my opinion, and I'm just speaking for me, but wanted to get y'all take on it. I don't know if y'all aware of it or not, but apparently the jitterbug playing when he want to play, subbing himself out when he want to sub himself out. And he almost just got Kansas in a chokehold almost as far as whether he going to play or not going to play.
That's their fault. That's Kansas' fault. They allowed that litigation, that language to go into that contract of that NIL. Why would you print that? You know what I'm saying? So you allowed it. I guess you didn't think it'd happen, but you allowed it.
Hold on. I'm so lost. His NIL deal allows him to sit out?
He got it. Somehow or another, he got it written in, bro. And I saw it where it's like he long as he plays. So it's not, I guess he was in the game and he subbed himself out during the game. And he allowed to do it because he played in I guess the way it's written, and I ain't seen like the language of it, but the way it's written, as long as he plays, he good. So he played but didn't finish the game, subbed himself out, and didn't even finish the game, bro. It's like his games where he's sitting, because at one point they was trying to say he was hurt. So now they saying, now it's coming out that he ain't really hurt. He just ain't playing. And I guess the hurt is to save him for if he healthy, he should be playing. But and CJ, shout out to CJ, man, doing his thing about load management. We load management at 19. What are you, 19 years old?
Mm-hmm.
And Frank, what's up, Frank, man? I don't know what you do. I mean, do you not? So Frank asking you, do you not play him? I mean, he already got the money essentially. I mean, you kick him off the team. It's almost like that's what he wants.
No, I don't think you do that because you don't already paid him. You need to maximize your investment, but you have lost control completely.
And then he played the whole game yesterday, and they still lost. They lost bad yesterday, but I think that's a direct reflect of how the locker room is now. You know, he played the whole game and they lost by what 16 at home to Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I bet you reconsider every NIL deal after that. I bet you won't do that again.
Doesn't
My
it doesn't
thing
it
is,
make sense? Doesn't it make sense now, like with the way this money is, to go back to coming straight out of high school and go pro after
I
just
agree too.
after
And
this what we just seeing?
that's
Like
what Mello said. I think Mello or somebody said on one of their podcasts, like you just need to be done with this stuff at this point because why even play around with them? Just let them just go on do it how it used to be.
yeah, you take those guys off the list and you won't have this situation.
I,
I don't,
I,
I
I
don't, I don't think you completely avoid it, but yes, I do agree that they need to get rid of that rule. My thing is it doesn't apply in baseball. You know, baseball you go right out of high school, so why you allow that in basketball? Like a lot of these kids don't want to go to school anyway. A lot of them, try to bypass it and go, to the G League and other leagues across seas, not to do it anyway. So
these
And he the
kids
number
don't even
one.
want
They
to
talking like he the number
practice.
one pick, right?
Yeah,
no,
they got a project to go number 1. Yeah,
I don't think he's going number one, especially now. I think he put that in jeopardy.
talent wise, he been yeah. I mean, now do you That's a good point. See, he should have just went straight to the G League Ignite for them people that's kids like him. They have no business. Some of these kids have no business stepping on a college campus because they have no interest in the college experience, right? And it's more than just hooping. Even if it's just for a year, it's so much more to college than just
Yeah, and they're
you know
not
what I'm
going to
saying.
class anyway. All their classes online, so it's basically play for hire. You you essentially they're essentially pros, right? So my thing is, I'm writing in their contract where I can find them for stuff like this, like what Dion is doing at Colorado for like missing meetings. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting if I'm putting incentives in there for his play, I'm also putting fines in there too.
You know, and I think that Dion, they criticize Dion, then they turn around and emulate it. So I do think that um, it's something to that. If I'm paying you, essentially, that's what you're doing. I'm paying you. You should be expected to come to work, right? Because if I'm paying you at this point, this is your job. If we don't go to our job, we don't ain't gonna have no job, right?
You know that?
Us three in the chat, whatever the case may be. Um, but it's like now these kids, and CJ saying that they had the same concern about Ant. I mean, once he get in the, but Ant played though. CJ Ant didn't book on the people and just not even show up to play. This dude doing some other stuff. And Kevin Pruitt, I can't speak for Billy D about being tired from coaching tonight, but as far as what school that I went to a few balls. I went to a few in my time in elementary. Went to a lot. Middle school went to a few. High school went to a lot. And post grad, I went to a few schools after graduating from high school, and was fortunate to get some paperwork from everyone on that I went to. So whichever one you want me to tell you about, I can tell you about them. I got a couple minutes on that, but I just saw it, man, because if he get away with it, like you said, people gonna have to be more since it's a contract. It's only a 1 year contract, because they leaving, especially in basketball, they leaving after that year. You're gonna have to be more creative with what you putting into that deal, because I mean, ain't nowhere in the world they saw him doing all that he was doing. I can't see that, but does the NBA care?
No, I
The
don't
NBA,
think so.
the NBA can care less, right?
They don't, but they're paying attention though, because what they're not gonna allow that at their level. You know what I'm saying? Like a coach, a general manager might like, hey, he probably coming here with this same attitude or whatever. We need to let him know from the jump that it's not gonna go this way. You know what I'm saying? How you get paid for not working? What they do that at?
And essentially, like I guess he's saying, if I sub in, hell, I clocked in. You ain't say what my level of work had to be, and all right, I'm done. I done went up the floor. I got a little sweat. I put a couple shots up. I'm done. And subbed himself out.
He has officially changed the game of college basketball.
Well, it's sad, man. It's sad. It's like a soap opera playing out. So how can you expect to get the effort from him? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm surprised. I know some people probably upset because they put Kansas on their ticket yesterday. Because Kansas up the top. They was 8 in the country, bro. Because they've been winning without him. And so they top.
How many minutes did he play? How many minutes did he play?
He played the whole game yesterday. That's what I'm saying. He played the whole game yesterday, and they lost by 16 at home. Like he ain't been playing, and they've been winning. Like they just beat, was it Iowa State or Arizona somebody the other night? They beat them without him. So a lot of people saying this Bill Self best coaching job because he done been coaching, having to deal with all this stuff. So I guess he not the first.
Blown out yesterday.
They got beat like by 16 at the crib with him playing the whole time. Yes, sir.
Boy, I wonder if Lance saw that game.
He was quiet. You saw they in the group chat. My boy really have many words.
Yeah, I was hoping he was watching the show so he can hear me talking about him.
Yeah. So, and I guess it's been done before. I guess Ben Simmons did the tanking thing too, but he guess the difference is he wasn't getting no NIL. Well, it wasn't official NIL money. Yeah, he probably he been getting the money out for a minute, but he wasn't giving out official NIL money back then. So I just saw it, man, and I thought that was kind of crazy how that situation is playing out. But the thing about Ben Simmons stopped playing altogether, right? Mm-hmm. This dude here like in and out. He playing and ain't playing. He in and what I'm saying? It's like he ain't just shut it down. And I don't think when Ben Simmons did play, he actually played the game. He didn't go in the game and then sub himself out. You know what I'm saying? So it's some stuff this kid doing that other people ain't done. It's a little different, So, but I just thought that was interesting. Want to get y'all take on it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get some type of regulation. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but they're gonna have to.
Yeah. Tyrell, he a bully, Tyrell. Kevin guy's a bully. Man, I've noticed this year. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but I've been very impressed with and PG. I know you can appreciate this. The level of advertising and marketing that teams have been putting into their product. Just promoting their teams, promoting their kids. I don't know if we've had it this many teams that have done it at the level that they've done it at this year. And do you think that advertising and marketing goes? Can you have a successful program without the advertising and marketing? Like, I mean, we look at the three teams that's still left, and we're going to talk about them here in a second. Which Bartow, Santa Fe, and Victory. They do a lot of advertising and marketing. Like Bartow's doing more than they've ever done before. Santa Fe always kind of pretty heavy with it, and Victory has improved in it. Do you think that has and on the girl side, to Frank's point, whenever y'all do it, and Lakeland's done it a lot more this year on the girl side. So do you think the advertising marketing directly correlates to because a couple of years ago the only team that was doing that kind of stuff was McKeel. And McKeel was the king of it. They was way ahead of everybody. It seemed like people are getting the memo per se, starting to kind of catch up a little bit. So does that correlate, or it's just Because now you got to put your product out there, right?
Correlate to what?
Well, your product, because nowadays we know we're always A, B, C. What the thing in the business, ABC always be closing. So if I'm continually putting my product out there, people always is seeing what I'm doing. More importantly, kids are seeing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I'm just putting it out there. It may not be the case. Yeah, Frank. Cecil's pretty much got his baby scholarship. With his promotion. He definitely is he the pioneer of it. He the first to do it, and he did it to a level that because a lot of people, including us, question if he could stay at McKill and get somewhere. What Noville number one in the country. He got a national championship, and they number one in the country right now. So
I just spoke to him too.
Yeah. So just a question. It's a lot more of it now than it used to be.
It's necessary. It's the wave of of everything right now. So and kids look at that. Kids see what programs are putting out information about their individuals and their teams. So I think it's more of like a recruiting tool. It's more of an advertisement of what we're doing here at Bartow or Santa Fe. And if you come here and you're a part of this program, you're gonna get showcased at some point. And if you come here and you produce, then you'll get showcased even more. And kids look at that.
It's a major plus. I can say that
Yeah,
much. Especially in this era. Yeah, like this.
Then you got people monitoring that. Colleges pay people to monitor that. From like GAs and whatever. So if you constantly showing up on my timeline, then maybe people will start paying attention. But coach, I haven't seen the top programs do it. I haven't seen the bottom programs do it. So it's necessary that some form of promotion is needed.
And Coach Blicker, I mean, you like your level of promotion is top tier, even not just yours but others. Like the way you promoted this week, the doubleheader was, and you have to do stuff like that, So it's just I just see more of it, and I'm happy for it because you should be promoting your product, right? You should have some pride in your product and what you're putting out there. But I just didn't want to get your all's take on it, what y'all thought about that. So I just think, like you say, to your case, I think you got to do it. So it's almost like if you're not doing it, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying, but not saying, because everything is visual nowadays. So, all right, man. Well, let's get into the week that was. We had 4 teams that were in the regional semifinals. They all played yesterday, and we went 3-1. And so, first of all, we'll talk about each game individually. But shout out to and congratulations to 1A victory, 2A Santa Fe, and 6A Bartow, who moves on to the regional finals this Saturday. And we want to say congrats on a great season. Unfortunately, it came to a heartbreaking end for Arbondale last night over in Lecanto. So let's start with Arbondale. And for you all that didn't know, I'm sure everybody knows by now. Coach E had his surgery on the 16th, so he was not able to travel with the team. He did go and wish them off, which was very. If you saw the video, very emotional kids, very happy to see him, but he wasn't able to coach, and they went and they fought valiant effort over in Lecanto, and they were not able to pull it out. They lost 53-46. So shout out to Arbondale, man. Do they and I looked at the bracket just before we got on here, Coach. LeCanto and PG. LeCanto plays Pine Ridge for the regional final. Pine Ridge came in as a 7 seed. So if Armandale could have found a way to win, they would have had a home game for the regional final, man. And I just really thought this was the one. This was it, bro. Great, Frank, champs in our eyes too, man. Great season. They gave a great account for themselves, but it's just like that LeCanto got something on them. Like they can't go over there and come out of there. So, what was your thoughts on the Armandale LeCanto matchup, if y'all have either?
I think you already said it. They just have proved they cannot go out there and come out with the win. For some reason it's a tough place for them to play. Then you got so many factors against you. You got your leader of the last 24 years, not being on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? That's significant, coach. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in practice that week to help them prepare. So it was a lot of unknowns, and then you lost one of your best players to an injury before the season. It was just a lot of factors that came out against them. I think what they did this season was still magical, but I think if everything aligned and they had everybody, for one, they wouldn't have been a 4 seed. It would have been higher. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, how do you overcome all of that? Because in the end, people look at wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to say in those columns like, oh, Coach E wasn't there. Or, oh, Aiden Curry was hurt. You know what I'm saying? People don't around the state, they're not going to talk about that because you still got to line it up and play. They had enough to go in there and beat them people. But unfortunately, again, what's his 3rd year in a row, Coach?
Yeah, Coach. It's like a house of horrors, Coach.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to change their narrative during the season and figure out a way how to, get that stranglehold off them so those people can come to Armandale and play them there.
Yeah, and that was what I was like. They got the 1 seed. I'm wondering and I didn't look at LeCanto's schedule to see, strength of schedule and that kind of stuff, but clearly that had to play a factor because LeCanto won the district, Armandale won the district, but they was the 4 seed, and it just I just really felt they had it. But you got to go in and beat people. Sometimes folks just have your number, and you hate to say that, and you hate to. I just felt like this was their year to get out that region. Well, they lost the district, Miss. They lost the district, Miss Linton, but I guess they did enough to still keep the 1 seed. Which they got the 1 seed. I guess that's what I'm saying. So I mean, they lost the district. My bad. Thank you for correcting me on that. But somehow or another, we gotta. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Mike. We here for it all, man. My man Frank done came on over to the other side, but I don't know, Mike, Coach Blicker. You say that Prime Ridge got a phenom. I guess that's why they coming out of there. So they might have got too low of a seed, but Armandale would have had a home game for the regional finals, man. That would have been bananas, but it was not meant to be. The score was 53-46. I think it was tied at halftime. So it was like 31, 32 or 32, 31 or something like that at halftime. And so based off of that, if it was like 31, 32 at halftime and it just seemed like the offense kind of, and it was close going into the fourth quarter, and LeCanto kind of like pulled away, but then I think LeCanto, one of their kids got a tech, and Armandale was able to kind of hit his cup. So it was right there, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they just drugged, it wasn't like they just jumped on them and, ran away from it. Just tough. So Arvindale finished the season at 20-9. Yeah, right there at halftime, 30-33, man. So they only based off of that, it was 33-30 at halftime, and the final score was 53-46. So you can, and I obviously we didn't see the game per se, but you can infer that Bart Arvindale's offense kind of struggled the second half. If they end up with 46, I mean they only scored 16 in the second half, so that's tough. Not sure what Lecanto did. I know it's tough. I know they play well at home. Lecanto does, but having said that, and man, y'all keep praying for Coach E. Man, like I say, he's out of surgery, so he's in recovery now. By all intents and purposes, looks like he's on the way to recovery, and things are going to he's going to make a full recovery. Preferably he did prior to Arvindale for the season they had. Another great season, and that was a lot, like I said, a lot to overcome with the coach, and Curry being out. So, all right, man. So we're moving on to 1A. 1A, we had Victory. Victory played Sarasota Christian, and as coach Billy D has coined it, the Victory Invitational in the semifinal round of the Victory Invitational. Victory was the winner. Score was 89-30. So last game, Victory put up 102, gave up 25. Last night they put up 89 and gave up 30. And they will host once again because they're the 1 seed. They will host the regional finals this Saturday. They play Donahue Catholic, who was a 3 seed. Do we see anything different from the Victory Invitational, Coach?
That's a negative, Coach. We don't see nothing different.
PG, anything you want to add on that, PG, about the Victory Invitational? Or you kind of
they might as well get their hotels and start scheduling practice time up there somewhere.
So I looked at the 8, the Elite 8, I guess we call it, the Elite 8 for 1A. And so in one bracket, you got Impact Christian, who is the 1 seed. They're playing the 2 seed, North Florida Educational. I don't know where that's at. In another region, you got Central Florida Christian Academy, 1 seed, playing OCP, the Orlando Christian Prep, as a 2 seed. Then you have Victory, who's the 1 seed in Region 3, playing Donahue Catholic, who is the 3 seed. And then the other one, you got Sagemont, who is the 1 seed, playing Dade Christian, who is the 2 seed. So all the 1 seeds are still alive in 1A, which are Impact Christian, Victory, Sagemont, and Central Florida Christian. So your thoughts on the Elite 8 for 1A?
Impact, Sagemont, Victory. Only question is the CFCA versus OCP. That's the only one I think have a chance where the 2 seed can actually advance. But CFCA, I think they're in the same district. CFCA had it in the stranglehold all year. So, but
OCP came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, because they had some shifts in coaching on the girls and boys side. Okay. And they starting to get back, they're trying to get their groove back. So like I said, that's the only one I can see where it could be an upset.
Okay. All right. So Victory they play Saturday, 7 p.m. at home. Mm-hmm. Right now, unless they change the time, they've been changing these game times here and there, but right now they're 7 p.m. home regional finals. All right, so moving on to 2A, Santa Fe hosted Jupiter Christian, who was the 4 seed. They played at 5 o'clock, and Santa Fe won 66-35. Another very impressive defensive effort from Santa Fe. I had the chance to watch. I watched that one, and once again, I think the thing that's impressing me the most about Santa Fe is how they are, how well they're guarding people. and they did a very good job offensively against Jupiter Christian's um, zone. Jupiter Christian played a couple of different zones, and they did a great job of attacking the zone, not selling for just jump shots and getting into gaps and finishing. And then when they turned around and pressured Jupiter Christian, it was tough for them. So um, Santa Fe moved on to the regional finals again this year. Return to the regional finals where they will host because they're the 1 seed, and they will host Benjamin. Benjamin won a close one over who did Benjamin beat? The 2 seed. Lord, I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, Benjamin beat the 2 seed, so they're the 3 seed. So, thoughts on Santa Fe's game yesterday, and then next week.
Santa Fe has been improving defensively from the beginning of the season to now. And I saw that also with victory, and I think that's going to be the key for them. Toby's consistent, but the other kids are stepping up too and contributing in a big way.
Holy
Um,
Trinity, there it is.
yeah,
Okay.
I heard Newkirk had a really big game.
Yeah, he
Not
was
only with points, just his impact on the game itself, and they're gonna need that, you know, this week also. I expect Shannon to step up and have a big game this week, along with Newkirk. And I just see the pieces around Toby, and he's making them better. But defensively, they've gotten better, coach. Even um, the second half of the season, I think that's what's going to drive them.
and so I went and looked at the Elite Eight for 2A as well. So in one region you have Providence, who is the 1 seed. First Academy is the 2 seed. Santa Fe is the 1 seed. Benjamin is the 3 seed. Northside Christian from St. Pete is the 1 seed, and First Baptist is the 2 seed. And down south, Riviera Prep is the 1 seed, and Miami Country Day is the 2 seed. So in that Elite Eight, I see you rubbing your face. What's your what's your thoughts on the Elite Eight and 2A, Coach?
Coach, based on the last ranking, Santa Fe makes it. They play Riviera Prep in the Final Four.
The
That's
first one.
in the first game. That's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? Because they loaded, and I think Providence is happy because I don't think they want to play either one of them. First. So it's a loaded Final Four for them too. I think Providence end up with the 1 seed and play the 4. I don't think the 4 is going to be as tough as Santa Fe and Rivera Prep, but shout out to Coach Blicker and that program. They have elevated it, to the next level, which is going to entice people to, want to come there because now you're knocking at the door of a championship consistently.
Coach, and all you gotta do is be good enough one game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a neutral site. Ain't no home court. You just gotta. And this is the thing, Coach. Everybody, there will be no home. Let's just say when it was at the White House, if I'm Rivera Prep and I've been to the White House 8 years in a row, even if I'm only playing 2 games there, I got a familiarity with it because I've been there. This gonna be brand new for everybody because it's the first time. So that how much does that play into the fact that everybody is gonna be experiencing the rims, that court, the gym, everybody's gonna be experiencing everything for the first time. So nobody has. Unless it's a Jacksonville area team that kind of gets there, I guess, if they play games during the season. But nobody's going to have a advantage because it's the first time for everybody.
I agree with you. So, the first ones that settle in the fastest is gonna be gonna gain the advantage. It is open gym, so it's going to be similar to the Lakeland Center, where you don't have a background behind the rims. For what I'm seeing, so shooting is gonna become essential. You know what I'm saying? So can you shoot in an open arena? And then the atmosphere look like it's gonna be a little bit closer than the Lakeland Center. So I don't know.
A little more intimate, huh? But I mean,
But
you
know
got
what,
Santa
though,
Fe
Coach?
coming from Lakeland. You got River Prep coming from way down in South Florida. So
Yeah, that's gonna make a difference.
that's gonna make a difference, I think, Coach. I think it
How,
is.
when do you leave? Um, what do you do in between time? Setting up gym time for the kids to shoot and get shots up and work out. Um, Coach, but you know what? I have found out that the atmosphere at the Final Four is intimidating to a lot of people. It's either like you've been playing well all year and you get in that atmosphere and don't play well at all. You know what I'm saying? And you can't control that and you can't game plan for that. So it's important that you get in there, you settle down as fast as you can. I know for us, I know playing defense and trying to score as many easy baskets in transition will help us settle down, and it did. So when we got that, it helped our shooting out because now I'm seeing the ball go through the hoop, our confidence build, and then we were able to shoot the ball.
So what do you? I guess you got to get past Saturday first, right?
Hmm.
And then if they get so this year, is it they play this week, they play again next week.
Yeah, the lower seeds play next week.
So it's still 2 weeks. Well,
No,
1A and 2A will play next week,
they play next week.
and then 6A will play the following week. Are you a fan of that?
No, I'm not a fan of that,
Because
coach.
you 7A, that's so you got a
Yeah,
personal
we gotta wait 2 weeks.
investment.
I mean, the practice time is great, but that's a long layoff. You know what I'm saying? Why not like flip it from year to year? Like maybe one year let the bigger seeds play the first week and whatever. I don't understand that. It and then when you get to 7, 8, coach, we don't get a day off. We'll play back to back days where everybody else get, basically a prep day.
So y'all getting screwed essentially.
No,
Now,
it's facts.
you have to play with the shot clock at state.
No, that's next year.
So now both teams got to agree to it for state.
Both both gotta agree.
Okay. All right. So that's the Elite Eight, y'all, for 2A. Now, 6A was our other region semifinal. It was the Bartow Yellow Jackets. And Bartow went to Orlando, went over to Pine Hills area. And as they say, they went in they trap and they took over their trap. So shout out to the Bartow Yellow Jackets, man. And they was deep, man. They was deep and they blew. You had to wonder, was it a Edgewater home game or a Bartow home game, man? And them kids went in, man, and McGriff had a great game plan as we knew he would. And they took it to them people, man. They took it to them, and Bartow won 69-56. And they was flying around. They was guarding people, man. They was, and I watched the game, so they had intensity. The kids was excited. Coach was excited. It was definitely great to see. So shout out first of all to the Bartow Nation, man, for supporting the kids, for pulling up, man. I know them kids had to feel the energy and the love, man, to have that many people that got on the road and came over there and supported them, man. And they performed. They performed, man. They performed. I don't know if Edge would expect to see that many people. I don't know if Edge would expect to see that energy. Um, but they brought it. They brought it. They gave it to him, man, and it probably wasn't even close as the final score indicated. So, what was your thought on how that worked out last night for Bartow?
Coach, I said last week they needed 60 plus to win. Yeah, Coach K. scored 60 plus, they had a chance to win. And, just looking at that, if they went in there and could score, and we know that they're going to play defense, you just want to give yourselves the best chance to win. The worst thing Gainesville did was give McGriff a week to prepare. You know what I'm saying? So now, not only does he get a great game plan, he's able to rest, those bodies. And a lot of us think that they, was a little bit tired at the end of the season. And now you can like pace it out, get great practices in, get a lot of shots up, and got a great game plan. And I talked to McGriff a couple times, and he even one day was a day off. You know what I'm saying? Like he is really, loving this new system. Him and Johnny are the two that love this week off. I hate it, but it's to their advantage. And now he got another week to prepare, for Evans. So, shout out to Coach McGrill, shout out to Bartow and Bartow Nation going over to support those kids. And shout out to those kids, pulling it together. Because, Coach, they're a great team. You know what I'm saying? As long as they stay together and not let their individual selfishness come out, they play well together. Coach, they can go over there and they can do it again against Evans.
Okay. Well, first of all, Ms. Martell, congrats on the win. Second of all, if you go back and look at last week's show, at least the PG and the coach, they men, so they can speak for themselves. I predicted we would go 4-0, so I predicted all four of us would win. So I've never doubted Bartow or Arbondale or Victory or Santa Fe. People tell me I'm delusional because all I do is pick Polk County. So I respect what you're saying, but ma'am, I truly beg to differ about doubting Bartow.
Coach, is this a basketball show? Are we talking basketball?
Haven't said that. Talked to McGriff last night coming back. We in the group chat, me, him, and Paul, me, him, and Fresh. And, Paul went over to the game. He was talking about the kids and how well they played. And McGriff was like, thank you. And he was already talking about Evans. He said, I just want to get back home so I can start watching film on Evans. Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss Martell. For the clarification. He just ready to get ready to watch film on Evans. And so, like you say, with a whole week to prepare, it becomes extremely tough for Evans with what, and he got 10 people over there, coach, and they all 10 playing. And I said this to Tuma earlier today. I said, man, this is probably McGriff's best coaching job ever, in my opinion. From what he lost and what he didn't know what he thought he was gonna have and what he ended up having to be in this position. I mean, I don't know many people that can pivot to that level. Evans is the highest seed, y'all, but remember, Edgewater beat Evans, and Edgewater beat Evans pretty convincingly. Obviously, they got to go to Orlando. Obviously, they got to go in there and they got to win. But I don't know many people that's going to bet against McGriff with a whole week to prepare for an opponent. McGriff will know what them people having for lunch by Saturday. He'll know what they have eaten on Tuesday night, what class they went to, what the teacher was talking about in civics. What he is a evil scientist. I don't mean evil in a negative way, but he's a mad scientist with that stuff, man. So, and the thing that I was so impressed with was the energy that them kids play with, man. Them kids was playing so hard, man. They had so much emotion, and they just was feeding off each other. Of course, they was feeding off of the fans too, man. So when we say pull up to y'all, man, and it matters to those kids, it matters when y'all are in the gym. If you supporting the team, man, that stuff matters, man. That stuff, don't take that stuff for granted. Do I think Bartow wins that game without the Bartow Nation in there with them? maybe, but the fact that they was there, it wasn't even like close. Like I really did. That's my opinion. Now that's what I stand on. So shout out to Bartow winning the regional semis. So I looked at the Elite Eight for 6A. In one region, we got number 5, Gainesville Buchholz against number 2, Winter Park Lake Howell. So the one seed didn't even make it out of that was Daytona Beach mainly got beat early in that region. Then in another region, we have number 1, Tampa Sickles against number 2, Parrish. And Sickles beat Charlotte by like 20 last night. Then we got 1, Evans, that will be hosting 3, Bartow. And then you got in the other bracket, number 1, St. Thomas Aquinas taking on number 3, Miramar. So what's your thoughts on 6A region?
Coach, the winner of this game will play Aquinas in the championship game.
The winner of this game
We'll
go
play
to
Aquinas. Yeah, we'll go to the championship game. And I don't think it's even close. You know what I'm saying? I think respectfully, Aquinas is 1, Evans is 2 in 6A, and I think Bartow is 3. They might have moved to 4 right there at the end of the season because of Edgewater surging at the end. But those are the top teams in 6A. You know, like I said, whoever wins this game is going to play St. Thomas Aquinas in the championship game. Now, what I think Edgewater is a better team than Evans, but I don't think you can take them lightly in Orlando. I don't know if you remember, Coach, but Evans got a kid from Polk. That's their number 2 scorer on that team, and that's Jakai Hardy. Butter that played at Davenport last year.
Oh! I thought he went to Oak Ridge.
No, yeah, Evans.
Oh, Butter tough, Coach.
Yeah, he is tough. So
I know you. I know you know.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying, and hopefully I don't have nothing going on, so I can go over there and watch that game.
So Lake Howell beat Victory, so that says a lot in that region. Coach Blick always got the intel for us. So
yeah, for sure. But like I said, I think whoever wins this game will meet St. Thomas in the championship game. That's my opinion. I'm gonna stand on that, whether I'm right or wrong. I think those 3 are the best teams. Ain't nobody gonna lay down in the Final Four, Coach. You still got to go out there and play.
Still got to go play. Because getting there, Coach, you one of the top 4 teams. However you want to say it, you one of the top 4 teams in the state. Now, we had this discussion in the group chat about how some of these regions line up. And, and this is a conversation every year, Coach. And I don't know what we can do about it. But you got some regions or some districts or whatever that are not as strong as other districts. So you got some teams there in the Elite 8 that probably, all things being equal, if it was a 5th, we all be drunk, right? But if you had this team in this region, these people over here in this region ain't as good, but I'm stuck in this region with this gauntlet, and I'm stuck. Kind of like we talk about area with Discovery in the gauntlet. Whether you want to admit it or not, they in there with them people, right? Because even in that region, 3A, Coach, 1, and I just looked at 2 of the things for 3A. Lake Island Prep versus the Villages. That's a heavyweight fight, Coach.
It is.
And then down south, Calvary Christian versus St. Andrews. What you doing with them people, Coach? And I ain't even look at the other side of the bracket. That's just 4 of the teams in 3A.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's nothing you can necessarily do about that, right? It's nothing you can do about that.
I think it is, Coach. And my plea to Gainesville again is that instead of doing it by area, is to seed them 1 through 32 and let it play out. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine 6A? Let's talk about 6A. Since St. Thomas won Evans 2, I think Edgewater ended up being 3, and Bartow 4, right? All of them go to different regions. Now that's your final 4 in Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you getting the Edgewater Bartow game as a regional semi game, why not have that as the final 4 game in Jacksonville? You know what I'm saying? Let's get the best 4 teams to Jacksonville. That's
So
what I'm saying.
it's an easy fix, is what you saying.
I think so. It's you trying to save money or save schools money when they got to spend money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why not? And now it's even easier because you playing every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every
So
Saturday you are playing.
it ain't a travel issue
No,
no
they're
more.
not missing school. None of that. So why not see them 1 through 32 and let the chips fall where they fall? I don't think that's hard, especially now with the new format.
And the reason, since it sounds so easy, the reason the state won't do it, in your opinion, in your experience and your expertise, is what? Coach Cable, shout out to Coach Cable. Coach Cable says travel and money, but Coach, we saying Saturday it wouldn't be an issue about that because, well, I guess it may be if I'm in River Area and I got to go play in Pensacola. I guess that would be travel and money. I guess that. But is that the thing? Because they would cost too much? Because that's always our answer in Florida when it comes to basketball. And our constraints or restraints is money. We don't have no money.
You're
It's
gonna
gonna
have to
cost too
pay.
much to do it.
You're gonna have to pay anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't make it like home games, you can play at neutral sites. Maybe you can go to somewhere like some of these JUCO gyms and play in them. You know what I'm saying? It's big enough for to hold these type of crowds. But like I said, I would rather have a true Final Four and true champions than some. Like everyone should be allowed to experience some of these games. Like Lake Highland Prep in the villages, everyone should be able to experience that game in the state finals. They are cheating the state basketball junkies having that game as a regional final.
That's a, that's a great point. I mean, because Coach, those are two of the top 4 teams in the state,
Yes.
and one of them not gonna make it.
And one of them is not gonna make it.
One of them not gonna make it. One of them not gonna make it. Coach, I looked at some other things, other areas that's of interest to us. Winter Park beat Apopka 29-25, Coach.
I
So
saw that.
Scott, I don't know what that was, but
Somebody
4
on the
quarters.
ball.
Then you got Sarasota will be playing Plant in the regional finals. Plant beat Kissimmee Osceola. Tampa Plant did. Shout out to Murph, man. Murph made it to the regional finals. Murph, it's an all St. Pete regional finals. Boca Ciega is the 1 seed, and St. Pete Gibbs is a 2 seed.
Cool.
And I already talked about Lecanto getting Pine Ridge as a 7 seed. But it just seems to me that, like you keep saying, I 25 points, Coach, 29-25. That's so crazy to me. Like, but he almost pulled it off. I remember, was it Lake Region that time they had to go play Lake Howell when they had Chandler Parsons and
Yeah.
Cone and all them guys, and he took they out the ball and almost knocked them off.
Yep.
Coach, maybe he went back and pulled that game plan, that scout report out and almost pulled it off with the same thing.
Job as a coach is to give your team the best chance to win. So I ain't mad at him for it at all.
Yeah, because it almost worked. It also worked. Hey, man, Coach Robinson in the chat, man. Coach E, what's going on with you, Coach? Yes, sir. Man, Coach E fighting back, man. Also, man, shout out to Coach Hen, man. It's 4 years from the day, man. Y'all remember Coach Hen had a major health scare, man, and God saw fit to keep him around, man. So this is his 4-year anniversary of still being here with us. But let's check out what Coach E said, man. Shout out to you, Coach E, man. We still praying for you, full recovery, man. So happy that you're still here with us and still fighting a good fight. I That's a good. That's so. That's that. Is that a valid point, Coach? You being an official,
Yes,
you
sir.
being on
Um,
Saturdays, and you don't have the best officials.
yes, sir. Because I talked to a lot of officials today. Even I talked to Chip today or yesterday, and he had a college game on Saturday, so he was unable to do the regional playoffs. So Coach E is spot on with that. Um, the better officials that do college, they're not going to be able to do Saturdays. You
I know
know,
Miss Linton said that earlier about the officiating was horrible over there in Lecanto last night. And Coach E is being the professional he is. He said he's not going to speak on it, which means it probably was pretty bad. Um, so, but then it's the thing, Coach. Y'all, they do girls on Friday. So are y'all feeling the same thing with the officials on Friday also?
no, not as much, but we not gonna talk about officiating
Okay.
too much.
Okay.
It's still the luck of the draw, coach, and who you get and what you get. But it's really like Coach E said, it affects boys more so because most college games are on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay. So Coach E said he think it's going to be a short thing with this Saturday model. Do you think that first of all, you Coach E, y'all vexing this? What was the rationale behind going this in the first place? And did they even contact you all as coaches before they did it? They just say, look, this is what it is, deal with it.
Basically, I know a survey went out, but I don't know if they listen to people on their survey or not because I didn't really see the changes that we needed. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, coach. I don't. They really didn't give a rationale on why they went to this format, and if we're gonna stick to it or not.
So are you a fan?
No,
It,
I don't like the long layoff. I don't,
but
but
Coach, with you and let's say McGriff ain't got as many bodies as he normally has, right? I guess he playing 10 guys. It does it help you if you
yes,
it helps you when
yeah,
you short people, right? So it's kind of it's I guess it's plus and minus depending on your situation, right?
yes, it does.
And I guess that's the thing. That's the thing, Coach Blicker. That I thought was they trying to stop from middle of the week people having to travel and school. Being affected with school and class, so they do the stuff on the weekend.
Yeah,
Which I think it's some positives to it. But if you're not gonna have the best officials when you need the best officials, then we got to figure something out. If it's gonna be Friday, Saturday, and you ain't missing no school, I'm all for the kids not missing school, obviously.
hmm
But if you're not gonna give these teams and these games, like, can you imagine Lake Island Prep and Windermere? I mean, not Windermere, the Villages with some not top flight officials. Can you imagine any of our teams that's playing this Saturday not they getting people from other regions and you sending us your C level people as opposed to your A level people, and this is for me to go to the state. So it's
and
it's
it's
both
all
ways,
according to
right?
availability.
I want the best you got, right?
It's all according to availability. So, in some cases, like Coach E just said, they had two officials. Like sometimes their college games is early in the day, and then they still trying to, make high school games. So maybe they need to look at the times, of these games. Maybe pushing it back to 8 o'clock so people have time to get there. Um, but I regardless, I think officiating is subjective also. Like some of these college officials think they are the best officials just because you do college. I don't think that's always the case. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is as a coach, you prepare either way. We kind of prepare where we're gonna eliminate officiating anyway. But this particular year here, as far as LBD goes, this is the best format for us. You seen our team, coach. You see how injuries decimated us. We get a chance to heal our bodies and really pay attention to detail. So this year for sure, it's been great for us. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the format. So
So even though you're not a fan of it, is you've been able to take advantage of it this year because of you all situation.
yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue, Coach. This past Friday, we always want to make sure we give a chance to talk about the ladies, even though that's not our focus. Out of respect to Polk County girls basketball, Coach, you guys were able to, your ladies was able to move on to the regional finals. You guys had to deal with some adversity, but you was able to fight through it. So, kind of talk about the girls' side, how you guys went. I know Lakeland had a heartbreaker; they lost by one.
Hmm.
I saw Haines City lost, and I saw Victory lost. So we down to one, right?
Yes, sir, coach. We was the only ones to move on, and that wasn't with adversity. Let's just say the least. I'm gonna say it. I've been saying it the last few years. The best ability is availability. And unfortunately, some things happened where we lost, a key piece, right before the game, and it changed everything. But shout out to Coach Johnny and our coaching staff that's been working with these kids day in and day out. And these kids stepped up, Coach. They really stepped up. They was down the whole entire game. I think we got down as much as 14, and these kids stepped up in a big way. Elise McCurdy had a big game, Coach. She went for 30. She should have had probably like 45, but we made an adjustment with her. We had three people in double digits, another one with 9, and another couple with like 5 or 6. And coach, it was just a huge, huge emotional win for us. There was some things. The halftime speech was epic, coach. Let's just say that
Okay.
halftime speech was
Okay.
epic.
Well, last time you had to make an epic halftime speech,
Well,
Coach.
it actually wasn't me. I didn't say anything. You
Who
know what I'm
was
saying?
it?
It was Coach Johnny, and then Serenity Hardy came into halftime. And
Uh-uh.
coach, it was epic, let's say the least. It was epic. I think it what helped turn everything around. In the second half, defensively, really clamped down. Offensively, we got going.
Coach, what number was the one that the girl that gave you 30?
14.
Man, I'm
The
looking
one,
at this. I'm looking at the stat sheet. I'm like, well, y'all been gatekeeping. Y'all didn't have her doing that when you came to
well,
Georgia. I'm
you
like,
know, you know what? We expected her to have a breakout year. She was the one that broke her hand right before the season in that prep hoops showcase, which really had me very pissed off because she was gonna have a breakout year, but she broke her hand. It got her off to a slow start. She's a walking double double. You know what I'm saying? She's 6 foot. She's really a wing, but we kind of play her at the stretch four. She's a playmaker, and that's what she did on Friday. She was able to get her teammates involved, and as well as get hers off. And we needed her to step up and have a big game, and she did. You
Coach,
know
she
what I'm
gave
saying?
y'all Coach. Let me. I know you doing your coach thing. Coach, she gave y'all 30, bro, and she didn't even know she was gonna have that role until what, a couple hours before the game. Ain't like y'all was practicing this. Ain't like y'all put this in the scout report. Y'all had to adjust with this the day of.
The day of and mid game, coach, we had to make some adjustments. I told a couple people, me and Coach Johnny having a jury deliberation on what should we do next. You know what I'm saying? But we put our heads together. We kind of figured it out. We made the adjustment in moving her to the center of the zone to make her a playmaker. And coach, like I said, not only did she get her, she got her teammates involved. Her and
Yeah,
Victoria, from a high low perspective, was a problem. You
that's
know what I'm saying?
that's your big.
That's the bid. That's 6'5".
Yeah, man,
And she
y'all.
was a
I'm
problem.
looking at this. I'm coach. I'm sitting there smiling at the stat sheet because y'all needed other people to step up, coach, and they all did. Like that was so. And I know y'all felt it. And I'm feeling it where
Coach,
I'm at.
coach, we lost our point guard. You know what I'm saying? Losing your point guard changes everything. The rhythm, the flow of things, and we had to kind of make shift. It just threw us off, and we didn't really settle down until the second half. We actually had to shorten our bench, and we don't have that many people.
Yeah.
We
So that's
really
saying a
played.
lot.
We really played five in the second half. We spot time just to get them a break, use our timeouts timely, but we pretty much played five in the second half. You know what I'm saying? So we got through it. I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? We'll be at full steam next week, and we
Adversity, coach.
yeah. You know what I'm
So
saying?
how does your region look? How does your region look?
I think it's favorable. We played Sumner earlier this year. They're the ones that beat Haines City. Haines City beat them earlier this year, so I'm pretty sure Haines City went into the game very confident. We're not going to take them for granted. I've been watching film since early Saturday morning on Sumner just to make sure that we're not overlooking things. I think they're well coached. Um, we know we're going to see zone. We know we're faster than they are. We're just going to use our strength to our advantage and just let everything come out. But like I said, other people stepped up. We had a freshman step up, and that's Sierra Witherspoon. She had a big game. She had a couple big threes along with her defense. You know what I'm saying? Macy Jordan, um, she was big for us the second half. Coach, it was just a complete team effort. And then Victoria, 6'5", the way she rebounded the second half, coach, it was unbelievable. So
I spoke to you that day when you got the news. I said, Coach, can y'all win? You say we can win it, Coach. It's gonna be a little different. We're gonna have to do some different stuff, but we can do it. And I'm just you and Johnny, man. Yeah, I mean, it was that one of y'all most. I know you had a lot of them, but was that one of your most satisfying wins with all of the parameters that took place and how they took place? Like I say, for the fact that you didn't even know you was going to have to do all this stuff until the day of, so you had no prep time.
no, and my thing is when it comes to coaching, man, most of your preparation is done in practice. You know what I'm saying? The game is pretty much a finished product of what you do in practice. Coach, we really had to coach. You know what I'm saying? We had to make in-game adjustments. We had to make real-time adjustments. We had to do some things that we probably wouldn't have normally did. I had to go in the bag, coach. I had to pull some things out of the bag in order to put us in a position to win. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we put our heads together. We done been here before. We've been down before, and that's what the halftime speech was about. We done been in situations where we've been down, and we done came back to win, or we lost it at the last second. And I think those experiences is what drove us in the fourth quarter.
Okay. So how does besides Sumner, how did the rest of your region look? I mean, how the rest of the 7A look?
7A, it's a big game between Colonia and Ocoee. Um, that was a 1 point game earlier this year. Whoever wins that will play Doral. We expect Doral to come out of Region 4. So whoever wins Ocoee, Colonia will play Doral. And we kind of expect to play Centennial out of Fort Pierce. They got a big kid, about 6'4". That's really, really good. So it kind of came out how we predicted it. We just got to take care of our part.
Y'all will be the 1 seed overall?
No, we'll be the 2 seed. And the reason that we will be the 2 seed is because the bus doesn't show up and we had a forfeit at Wildwood. So we like behind Doral by like 0.1 or 0.2 points because of a forfeit, coach. You know what I'm saying? We was thinking about trying to fight it, but in actuality, I think it was a blessing in disguise. We match up better with the 3 seed than we do with the 4 seed. So we're not actually mad about it.
Wow. Percentage points.
Yes, sir. Like 0.1 or 0.2, coach.
Now, Centennial, coach, was they in Georgia?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think they played the schedule that we have. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be our advantage.
So they hadn't seen y'all.
No. They haven't seen us.
So we are down to one team on the girl side and three on the boy side. We got three home games, so one girls game will be home, two boy games will be home, and one road game. And so our expectation is that we getting four Polk County teams into Jacksonville. We I don't think we've really varied from that since the season started. I think we said victory in Santa Fe was pretty much lost. We said Bartow was in good shape, and y'all. So I don't think that nothing is really. A lot of stuff has happened, but I don't think that I think we got who we're sending our best. No disrespect to anybody else. I just obviously, even before, Coach E had his, health. So I just really felt like Arbondale, this was their year. I really felt like they had a great chance to come out that region. So for me, I'm 4 out of 5. And really, I felt, your heart go out to Lakeland, man. Shout out on the girls' side. Shout out to Coach Red, man. He lost by 1, and I thought they had a great shot too, man. So we've had a pretty good overall season for us Polk County basketball. So what will it take, Coach, for all 4 teams, for all y'all to be booking hotels next Sunday? I know some of y'all will go next week, and then some of y'all. So predictably, we will have Fitzgerald and Blicker going next week, and McGriff and Lawson / Washington going the week after. What will it take for y'all to be booking your trips?
Coach, again, the blueprint hasn't changed with Polk County, whether it's on the girls or boys side. It starts on the defensive end. We get caught up in offense, but it really starts on the defensive end, and that's playing together as a unit, playing good help side D and rebounding. If you're able to stop people, coach, you give yourselves a chance to win. Like for instance, we lost our best scorer, but our thing is right now, if we can hold people to around 45 points, it gives us a chance to win on the girl side. And it's the same thing on the boy side. It starts with the defensive end, and then offensively, do what you have been doing all year. You know what I'm saying? Exploit the other team's weaknesses with your personnel, and you'll be fine. Like I said, victory in Santa Fe definitely are favorable. Bartow, my thing is share the ball, run great offense, hit shots. You know what I'm saying? But defensively, Bartow has to be great. Um, they have to rebound. They have to limit the one shot. And I think giving McGriff a week is a mistake. And like I said, I think the regional final game was this past week. You know what I'm saying? This is formalities for Bartow. I think Edgewater is a better team than Evans.
You did say that. You said whoever won that game was gonna win the region. So to frat question, Coach. What are the odds before we get off? What's the odds that it'll stay in Jacksonville or to come back to Lakeland? You think it'll ever come back to Lakeland?
I think it will, but I think it's a 2-year contract for sure. So definitely in the next 2 years it'll be up that way. But it's important that fans, along with coaches, express. If they don't want it there, they really gotta express. That they don't want it there, and they've been having surveys go out. So that's one of the things you probably need to put in the survey that they should move it back. And next time they do have that survey come up, we'll be sure to promote it here on the platform.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right, man. Well, once again,
Coach, one thing before
yes,
we leave, we lost an official today. It's either today or late last night, and that's Willie Lewis. And I want to make sure that I know we have some religious people in to pray for him and his family. You know what I'm saying? So Willie been doing reffing football and basketball for a very long time, and I just want to make sure that we pray for him and his family.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh yeah, prayers up, man. Prayers up to him and his family, man. I remember Mr. Lewis, man. He was good people, good people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So once again, man, congrats to the Arbondale Bloodhounds on a great season, man. It ended way too soon, way too soon. Shout out to Coach E, man, and successful surgery and fighting back, man. And good luck to the three that we have remaining on the boys' side, which is Victory at 1A. They will be home Saturday versus Donahue Catholic. We have Santa Fe, who will be home Saturday against Benjamin. And we have Bartow, who will be on the road against Orlando Evans. They all play on Saturday. Right now, the start times are 7 p.m., y'all. If it changes, we'll be sure to let y'all know as soon as we get word of it. And then on the girls' side, we got Winter Haven, who will be home on Friday against Sumner at 7 p.m.
I won't be surprised Blake will set up another doubleheader so people in Lakeland can get to both games.
That was so great, man. That was clutch and classic, man. That people were able to get and support the kid. So you all just don't realize what you being in the gym cheering for these kids, especially. I promise that Bartow
What do
fan
you
base.
do about doubleheader? What you mean doubleheader?
It just allows he changed the game time to 5 o'clock,
Okay.
so it allows people to get to both games if they chose to.
Yeah, so you have to be trying to decide. So if I could go watch Santa Fe at 5 and then go watch Victor at 7, so it was real nice little setup that they put together. And he was promoting it as a doubleheader. You know what I'm saying? He was doing all the graphics and all that stuff. So shout out to Coach Blicker, man, for doing that for the kids and just for the county. So man, y'all just don't realize what your presence means, man. I know them people being in Bartow, being in Orlando was good for about 8 points, so you can't tell me no different. And I know our Edgewater was probably surprised. They kept walking up in there and they had their blue on. They was loud and then at the end, I don't know if you heard, Coach, they were telling people to get the hat, coat, and leave out their own gym.
At your own gym.
At their own gym, Coach. They told the people to get the hat and they coat and leave. You remember that? Y'all remember that old Bartow gym, man? You get caught slipping up in there, man, and that thing get serious in there. So they took that stuff on the road Saturday. So y'all pull up again to Orlando, man, and or to Santa Fe or the Victory. But be somewhere, man. Support the kids, man. That stuff really, really matters. Them kids feed off that stuff. They need it. They need it, and they deserve it. They deserve it, man. They deserve your support, and they sure appreciate it. So we looking forward to next Sunday. We got 4 teams that will be moving to Jacksonville, and thank y'all for all y'all do for the kids and for the programs of Polk County, man. We so appreciate it. I know they appreciate it, man. And that's all we got for this week. Till next time, Polk Hoops, we out, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Y'all be safe this week, man. And Coach, what it is, Coach, for all the student athletes that still putting on jerseys and shorts.
The best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do in the classroom and outside the classroom. Don't do anything to hurt your team. We're rooting for everybody, man. Good luck to y'all this week.
Be there for your team, man. Be there for your team. Be there for your team. All right, man. Next week, we'll see y'all. Y'all be safe this week. Appreciate you.